Hi, I'm Rob Crouch, and I've got a little bit of a demo here of my iRacing stats Discord bot that I've been working on for the last few seasons. We've been using it for our team for, like I say, like 2 or 3 seasons now. As I've been building on it, we found it very helpful. I've now sort of opened up a bit wider and done a bit of a slow release, and a few teams are using it, a few individuals and a few communities have been finding it very useful and helpful. I think I've ironed out most of the major bugs. I've had a lot of excellent testers, and so I thought it was time to show the rest of the world what was going on with it, and what better way of doing it than actually giving a bit of a demo. So this is a Discord server that I got set up specifically for the bot, so you can come in here and jump into the bot playground channel that I'm in here and have a toy around with it, and you can check out what the bot does. I'll leave a link, an invite link to the Discord server in the description below, and share it wherever I put this video. So yeah, jump in and have a play around. The first thing you're going to want to do when you get in is just use the help command. So all the commands have a prefix of an exclamation mark, and that just lets the bot know that it's a command. So if you do help, the bot's going to send you a message and pop in up here, and it'll give you a list of all the commands. So as you can see here, the standard commands are driver, season, series, championship, blah blah blah. I'll walk you through some of those now, but yeah, this is the what's available. Again, you'll see this link along with wherever I share this video. I'll link to the description and information about it that will include this. Yeah, so you can use any of these commands as a standard user. People that subscribe, so I have a Patreon set up, and I ask for a few dollars a month to chip in towards the cost of running the service, because it is hosted on a server that costs me money, and it gives me a couple of beers and coffee that fuel me to keep on developing it and just show support for everything I've been doing. So again, the link will be along with this, so if you feel you got a couple of dollars free each month that can help me out, then it'd be great, and you get access to the extended commands like points and weeks and drivers that I'll walk you through now. So jump back into the bot playground server, and actually just did this command before, which is the points command. So this is the one that our team finds really helpful. So when you add it to a team server, you don't actually have to put in all of this information. So these are the driver names of people in my team, and I'm specifying that we're looking at the Formula Renault 3.5. When you add it to your server, you can set a default series, or it can match the channel name. So in our server, we have a channel that's called FR35, one that's called FR20, one that's called RAD, blah blah blah. And if it matches one of the abbreviations, it'll automatically default to that series. And you can add people to your team's list, so that by default they will just automatically get added into every result if they've done races in that series. And you can even specify their highlight colours. When I've done it this way, it's just done random colours for the people in my team. But as you can see, it gives you their championship standings, and then some helpful information about their weeks. So it gives you a very easy way to work out how many points you have to score for it to actually add to your championship total. You can see here which ones were dropped and which ones are the lowest, and a pretty little chart that shows how their points have been going up over time. So then if we have a look at one of those drivers in particular, so I'll have a look at Ed's driver stats. So you just do exclamation point driver, put the name in there. It'll do a little search across my database, which is the same database that I use to do the end of season stats and so on. And you can see here it generates a little report, gives you their iRating, their license, how many races they've won, podiums and so on, and then a little handy chart showing you. I find this really helpful to see how consistent you've been across the season. You can see if you've had an up and down season, where you've had incidents in these races, and it gives you just a good overview of how someone's season has been, especially along with the DNFs. You can see, has it been an easy season, or has it been a frustrating season? And yeah, then down the bottom here is their iRating change. So if I do my own, I'll just Rob Crouch, you can see I'm really just doing this to gloat a bit. I had a pretty good season in the Formula Renault. This was a race here that I signed up for and forgot that I was in, so that was a good one, and then I crashed out the next race. Yeah, so apart from that, I did pretty well this season. Yeah, so I find it's good for the same narcissistic sort of trait that we all have. It's good to Google yourself and find out how your own stats are going, but the biggest thing that we find is that it's really super helpful to see, to measure up where you sort of rank with other drivers in a series that you're competing in. So especially for teams that are taking a season pretty seriously, there's a couple of commands that I find really help. The Q laps, which is qualifying laps, so I can do this for this one, and then also highlight ed. So this will be for the previous season, which was week 13 of the Formula Renault, which was at Nürburgring. And you can see here it gives you a list of what the fastest qualifying times were and a handy chart of how it matches up against iRatings, and then it'll actually highlight where ed was within that pile. And I find this really, really helpful, especially when I jump into a series and start racing on like the Thursday. I can see where the times have been at. Of course, in most series that have variable weather, the track temps do play into this as well, but just as a ballpark, you know where you'll have to be matching up with, and especially in a season that you know all the races that are around you, you can pop them in there as well. So you can say, I know that most of the time I'm close to Ed, or here's what my target's going to be, so I can pop him into the query and find out what times he's been doing, and that gives me a good ballpark of where I should be aiming for. And the same with R laps is the same thing, but for race laps. So I'll do the same one there. And I've also got another command which is average race laps. So you can see here Ed had a blinder in one of the races, and he's actually put in the second fastest time, which is amazing. Ed is very, very good. Yeah, so there's a bunch of commands there that they're interesting, they're helpful, it's fun to toy around with, it's interesting to look people up, especially if you spot someone. I quite enjoy if someone just randomly jumps into a server and you just notice they're really fast. I like doing a driver look up on them, and you'll find that they are like rank 4 in the GT3 cars, and they've just jumped into whatever open wheel series I'm in, and it's like, just gives you that bit of background, very quick background, without having to jump into the website and dig through and look through their history and so on. So I find it really helpful. There's a bunch of people that have jumped into here recently that have found it very, very helpful. I've got it running in the Open Wheeler Discord and a couple other community Discords that people have obviously really enjoyed it. So I thought I would advertise it a little bit more, see if there's a wider market. And yeah, if you want any more information, check the links that I'll include with this, and yeah, let me know. Just hit me up on Discord. As I say, send me a message through Patreon or subscribe there, and I'll get you all set up. Cheers.